We're gonna take a look at this tiny P501 power station from OUKITEL. Now the P501 is not big enough to realistically be used for backup power. Basically, I would use something like this for just mobile power to recharge cell phones, laptops, cordless batteries, things like that. I'm not going to use it for anything other than that. It's a very, very basic system. There's no app, there's no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no nothing. So I don't know a huge application for these other than just recharging small devices on the go. Definitely too big to put into a backpack, so it's one of those awkward teenage stages where it doesn't know where it's trying to fit in, but it does have an inverter and solar input in a battery, and so therefore it works as a solar generator. Now it is a pure sine wave inverter, and the battery type is lithium NMC, which is going to help it to remain very lightweight. This is definitely lightweight and very portable. It's got a leather strap right on top here, got air vents on the sides, and all the input and output stuff is here on the front. Now the screen dims after a short period of time, and you just have to click one of these buttons and it'll turn on. But I've noticed, for example, with the DC outlets, it will automatically turn off the DC outlets after about a minute or so, which I find very interesting because DC doesn't really use any power at all to be turned on. Generally, that's the AC outlets over here, because the battery has to turn on the inverter, and the inverter is essentially a computer, and so generally will use a little bit of power just to be running that. So I find that's very odd that it's turning off the DC outlets rather than the AC outlets. The AC outlets stay on no problem. And then it does have a light up here. I generally don't use lights, and if it does have a light on the unit, I prefer it to be on the back so it can hit a surface like a wall behind it and kind of give a lantern effect to the room. Does it really work as advertised? That's what I want to get into. I've had a couple of issues with this unit, and it may be able to redeem itself. I want to go test the solar input on this. Let's jump right into that. So the P501 is rated to up to 150 watt solar input, with a charge parameter from 12 to 30 volts. And once again, the user manual does not give the current rating. Current stands for amps. So we don't know how many amps it can use, but on charge controllers, if you exceed the amps, it just limits how many amps are going in. So if this is rated to 5 amps and I connect 10 amps, it's just going to limit the amps down to 5. So I'm going to connect a 200 watt solar panel, which is within the voltage charge parameter. That's the most important parameter. I'm going to connect that right now and see what kind of input we get. We have a perfectly clear, sunny winter day, so it's the ideal conditions for solar. Well, guess what? It doesn't come with a solar adapter. I cannot find anywhere that this came with the solar adapter, and oddly enough, I do not have an adapter anywhere. I thought was like every adapter, but I cannot find one. This is not an 8mm, it's not a 7909, it's not a 5mm, I don't know what it is, but it's got a large center pin, and I cannot find a charger for it. So I will not be able to test the solar input of this because I have no solar input capability without the adapter. Well, that kind of sucked. No adapter. And I didn't realize at first when I was going through the user manual, it even says in the back here that a solar panel adapter is not included. I don't know who would advertise a solar power station and not include that. So that was super frustrating to me. I truly think that that was not okay. So overall, I was not able to test the solar input. The wall charger puts in 120 watts, and it does output 500 watts consistently. So I can only speak to part of it. Hopefully OUKITEL will fix that where they do include a solar charger adapter with it. I'm not sure what plug this is. I thought it was just a 5525, but it seems to have a larger inner barrel connection as well as a slightly larger outer wall. And so I'm just not sure what it is. Because of those reasons, this is not a unit that I would recommend. I would look at other systems instead, which is very unfortunate because this could have been a good basic little unit for just having portable power. But I would not use this for emergency backup power regardless because it's too small, and I would not use it to contribute to my essentials for self-rescue. So be prepared for self-rescue, and I'll see y'all in the next video.